films today. Here, the explosive out of control mayhem you see in movies like Crimson Tide, The Rock, and Pearl Harbor can be created using large-scale physical and mechanical effects. The action is then filmed as a carefully planned out sequence of events. Now, you guys are in luck today because we are in the middle of filming our own action sequence titled Harbor Attack, using many of the same special effects used by directors like Michael Bay in their films. As a matter of fact, we'll take a step back and look at those overhead monitors. Here's Michael to set the scene for us.
In this scene, the program was a surveillance mission. So through the skies for any aircraft, whose guard will be able to surface. See, it's going to require is a split second time to have the direct. The lights, the cameras, all you can see.
Alright, if anyone knows serious action, it certainly is Michael Bay. Now, some of the special effects that we're going to be using in our action sequence today are going to include water cannons. Now, those water cannons are pressurized out of 200 pounds per square inch. We've also got bullet hits, which have to be timed and programmed to match the continuity of the visuals and eventually the pattern of sound effects. And last, but probably the most exciting special effect that we will be using today is going to be fire, which has to be ignited at a precise moment. Because it takes a lot of time and work to reset the charges for an explosion. Alright, our number one consideration, however, when filming any action sequence is always going to be the safety of the cast and crew on set, so that brings me to you, sir. What's your name?
Junior.
Junior? Alright, Junior! Say hi, Junior!
Hey, Junior.
Okay, Junior, well, you have been cast in the role of mechanic on our PT boat. Your scene takes place deep down in the belly of our ship in the engine room. But since it appears that you are not wearing the proper gear, and I know for a fact that Dan can only doggy paddle, we're going to actually bring you up topside and have you set up in this engine room right over here. So if you'll follow Dan, he'll get you all set up. Alright, we are going to be filming 2 scenes today, but not in the order that you'll find them in the script. This is because most movies are shot out of sequence, which means that our actor, Junior, is going to be reacting to a situation that hasn't been filmed yet, which can prove to be a little complicated. So it's up to directors like myself to give him the proper motivation. Alright, Junior, I'm going to set the scene for you, okay? You are sitting in your engine room, your ship has just been hit, and you've lost your engines. Meanwhile, you get a phone call from your captain right before 800 gallons of water comes crashing down the chute to your left, ramming into you with all the force of a freight train. You feel motivated to hang on, Junior? Alright, he seems pretty positive, and that's probably because I lied to him. It's actually 1,000 gallons of water that'll be crashing into him with all the force of a freight train. Good luck, Junior. We're gonna roll playback. Alright, remember, you just lost your engines. And action! Pick up that phone. You're gonna talk to your captain. Keep talking, because you're gonna get just a little bit wet. And cut, you can hang up that phone. Great job, Junior. You did such an awesome job that I'm gonna give you one more scene, okay? Alright, I want you to see where you are. Stare dramatically out into your audience and act dry. Dry. Alright, that's a good look, but you're still dripping, so we're gonna give you some time to work on that, okay? In the meantime, we're gonna take that shot, insert it into our next scene. You'll see how it all looks at the end. So let's meet the rest of our brave crew.
Let's have a round of applause for our brave Captain Nick. Let's get through Stephanie and James. Your cast is on the set. Crew, stand by.
Thanks, Dan. All right, everybody, we are going to roll playback now. Crew, remember, you are on a surveillance mission. And action. All right, crew, clean that boat. We want to get a spick and span for your captain. Hey, Captain, make sure you're keeping an eye on the skies. Oh, no, looks like there's some kind of time left in there. Oh, crew, you are terrified. You're stunned. You're running around screaming like little girls. And, Captain, you better get that crew out of there. Hurry up and get the boat out because it looks like they're going to oh, looks like you've been hit. Captain, get on the phone to your mechanic and see what's going on. Hey, crew, what's that up there in the water? There's something out there coming towards your ship. I don't know what it could be. Oh, that wasn't any torpedo. Luckily for you, it passed under the ship, so thank goodness. You guys start to relax because you think it's all over, but we know better, don't we, audience? It's not over, is it? No! Hey, everybody, look to the skies and point up because we got some bombers coming in at 12 o'clock. Bombs away, everybody. Hit the deck. water tank. Now, if you're waiting for one of those brave volunteers, please stay where you are. Everyone else, it's time to make your dramatic exit.
Wind to the east is stirring. Like something is brewing. About to begin. Welcome, this is PL Charters to the city of Angel.
It smells like jasmine, nori, and sweat.
Introducing the creator of our beloved band.
And the heaven just met. My name is Mrs.
Oh, walk. You gotta come walk. 20 years ago, I made a promise to my daughters that I would make them Mary Poppins prom off for pictures of your books. I promise.
Hello and welcome to the second portion of your studio Backlot Tour. As you continue down the ramp and through our prop warehouse, please make sure to keep your entire party together. This will ensure that you are seated together on the same shuttle. If you are traveling with a wheelchair or electronic vehicle, please stay to the right as you exit the prop warehouse so we may better assist you. And if you are traveling with a personal stroller, please be prepared to fold that stroller as it will be going along on the shuttle with you today. Thank you, and we hope you enjoy this second half of your studio Backlot Tour and your day here at Disney's Hollywood Studios.
It's not for sale. I wrote off my turn into one of your silly cartoons.
Says flying Maddie and jumping on.
You think Mary Poppins is going to save the children?
I'm wondering what I have to do to make you happy. You know, you've never been to Disneyland, and that's the happiest place on earth. When is everybody get to go to Disneyland with Walt Disney himself?
There he is.
Where did you find him?
For party two.
Waving everybody, wave. Bye bye. Backlot Tour.
Before we get going, folks, I would like to remind everyone that this is an outdoor attraction and there are some rain clouds in the area. So if it does start raining while we are on our tour, please do not open any umbrellas. This is for your safety and the safety of those around you. Once again, if it does start to rain, please do not open any umbrellas for your safety and the safety of those around you. You are, however, allowed to use ponchos, park mats, or anything else you can find to keep yourself dry.
Welcome to the Studio Backlot Tour. For a safe trip, please remain seated with your hands, arms, feet, and legs inside the tram. And be sure to watch your children. Thank you.
Bienvenidos. Para que tengan un viaje seguro, permanezcan sentados, con las manos, brazos, pies y piernas dentro del tren.
Sit back, relax, driver, we are all clear. Hello everyone, and welcome to the second part of your Studio Backlot Tour. As we get going, be sure to look on either side of the shuttle for Western-themed set pieces from the Lone Ranger. We also have costumes from recent blockbuster hits in our costuming tunnel.
Hello everyone, my name's Don and welcome aboard. We're heading into the backlot of Disney's Hollywood Studios. This production area was built in 1988 as a Florida counterpart to the Walt Disney Studios in Burbank, California. We included sound stages, recording studios, high-tech editing rooms, all the tools needed to create movies, TV shows, and radio broadcasts. We've even got our very own water tower too. It's up ahead on the left side of our shuttle. We call it the Earful Tower. It's inspired by the water tower Walt Disney had built for his Burbank studio in 1939. Our Florida tower stands a lucky 13 stories high, and we added our own creative touch, a giant set of Mickey Mouse ears. If you wanted to wear those ears, you'd have to have a hat size of 342 3/8. Up ahead, after the next bend in the road, you'll have a perfect opportunity to take a picture of this famous icon. In the world of entertainment, every project starts with a screenplay and a lot of creative ideas. A production studio is where the ideas of writers, producers, and directors are transformed into an on-screen reality. Within these huge spaces, filmmakers can literally create their own worlds. Our Florida sound stages are soundproof, weatherproof, and most importantly, air-conditioned, all vitally important for the cast, crew, and equipment. Many of the crafts needed for filmmaking are located right here on the lot. On the left, we have our own greens department. It grows flowers, trees, shrubs, and topiaries. A few well-placed plants can cover up empty spots in the set and add a touch of natural beauty to a scene. On the right are two of the aircraft from the 2001 blockbuster hit Pearl Harbor. These exact full-scale replicas of P-40 fighters were used in the special effect fight sequences. Of course, many of the planes you saw flying through the aerial battles or sitting on the ground weren't real at all. They were created entirely within a computer. Oh, keep your cameras focused to the right. We're coming up on that perfect angle of the Eiffel Tower I told you about. It's a true masterpiece. We're entering one of our most glamorous and colorful departments, creative costuming. Every star has to have just the right wardrobe, and it all begins here with a designer's sketch. Our team of designers, seamstresses, and tailors can turn 1.5 million yards of fabric into over 25,000 costumes every year. Many of these costumes will become part of the shows and attractions of the Walt Disney World Resort. In fact, here in Florida, we have the largest working wardrobe department in the world. Why, Mickey Mouse alone has over 175 different outfits to choose from, while Minnie Mouse keeps more than 200 unique costumes in her wardrobe. On the left are costumes worn by the stars in recent studio productions. You'll probably recognize some of those costumes from the big screen. Every story needs a setting, and our design staff can create just about any place a script calls for, from an urban city street to a remote desert canyon. On the left is our scenic shop where large-scale sets and props are built. Our team of set designers, carpenters, artists, and engineers has created caves and caverns, game show sets, even replicas of the U.S. Supreme Court and NASA's Mission Control, all on our sound stages. The shop also provides sets and props for our shows and parades here at Walt Disney World. The same skill and craftsmanship that goes into a movie set can also be used to create magic for our parks. Either way, it's all about making dreams come true. Now we're entering a zone we call the Boneyard. It's an outdoor storage area for oversized props and vehicles. Cars, trucks, boats, planes, we often save these props in case we need them for future production. In this backlot collection, you may find real working vehicles, non-working mock-ups, and even large-scale miniatures used in special effects shots. Large-scale models create a more convincing illusion on camera. We're now passing by the sets for our Lights, Motors, Action Extreme Stunt Show. On the left, you may catch a glimpse of the Mediterranean fishing village that sets the stage for this thrilling attraction. We'll get a closer look at it soon, but for now, we're approaching one of the largest standing sets on our back lot. It's over on the right. It may not look like much from this angle, but it's pretty spectacular on the other side. This is great, folks. The production crew has just given us clearance to enter the set.
Hello, Backlot Tour. I'm Amy, a production coordinator here at the studios. I can see your shuttle heading toward our canyon set. I've given your driver permission to come in and take a look around. I'm up here with our effects crew, and we're getting ready to shoot a test sequence. Oh, on the way in, you're going to be crossing a wooden bridge, and things may get a little bumpy, so please, hold on to your belongings, especially hats, cameras, and glasses, and keep an eye on any small children in your party. And of course, please remain seated at all times. Welcome to the set. As you can see, we brought the bare, dry deserts of Southern California to green, typically humid Central Florida. This set is based on real locations that our production designer took pictures of. Our set crew spent about 6 months building the canyon, but we've used it for a number of TV shows and specials over the years.
Please make sure everyone remains seated at all times. Please, this is for your safety. Children may be seated on your laps, and everyone
built-in shower is really just a special effect. We've rigged up a series of water nozzles just above your tram. The water sprays in a crisscross pattern. Creating a the first few feet of the set. Okay, it's showtime. Everybody stay seated. Hang on to your belongings and watch your children. From overhead tanks. Oh, but don't worry, we recycle. All of that water will be pumped right back up to the top for the next tank. We shoot some of the water through air cannons for an extra dynamic effect. Those air cannons are powerful enough to shoot a basketball over the top of a skyscraper the size of the Empire State Building. To top it off, our shuttle was sitting on hydraulic shaker tables. They provided the shaking, rattling, and rolling sensations for the scene. The entire sequence can be reset in 3.5 minutes. That's just enough time to bring in the next shuttle. Well, I've got to get ready for our next tank. Thank you all for being part of the action. Hey, I'm needed back on the set, so enjoy the rest of your tour.
Okay, well thanks Amy for giving us access to the set.
Hi everybody, I'm Bob Ganaway, director of the new Disney Toon Studios animated feature, Planes, Fire and Rescue. Looks like the historic aircraft on the right is getting into the spirit of our new film. It would fit right in with Dusty Crawhopper, Dipper, and all their high-flying friends from Piston Peak National Park. You know, that plane was known at airports across the country as November 234 Mickey Mouse, or the Mouse for short. Back in the early 1960s, Walt Disney himself used this plane to scout locations for what he referred to as the Florida Project. His team purchased many acres of land here in Central Florida, but they kept the Disney connection a well-guarded secret. Eventually, the secret was out, and the Walt Disney World Resort became a reality. Enjoy the rest of your tour, and I hope you enjoy Planes, Fire and Rescue.
On our right, we once again sweep past the magnificent Mediterranean village of our lights, motors, action extreme stunt show. This high-octane...
Please remain seated at all times. Driver, we're clear.
In this action-packed production, you'll feel like you're right there on the set during the filming of a spy thriller, complete with custom-built cars, motorcycles, even jet skis. You'll experience the split-second timing, coordinated driving, and fiery special effects that make action movies a real blast. This staging area to our right is known as Acceleration Alley. Here, the custom-built stunt show vehicles rev their engines up to 70 miles an hour before making their high-speed entrances onto the stage for our lights, motors, action extreme stunt show. Of course, these are professional stunt drivers. We hope you'll enjoy their daring driving skills, but please, don't try them yourself. In this Backlot collection, you may find real working vehicles, not working mock-ups, and even large. On the left, we've reached our second boneyard with more historic props and vehicles. When we reuse older props in a new production, they're often refitted with custom parts and given a whole new color scheme. You might not even recognize them the next time you see them on screen. For instance, coming up is our friend Herbie the Love Bug. He went through a special demolition derby makeover. Those dents and dings were added on purpose, but he can be polished up as good as new for his next starring role. On our right, we now have a very different view of the fishing village set. From this point of view, you can see that there is no inside of the buildings. They are just false fronts or facades. In the movie business, set builders only create what the camera has to see. It's an old movie trick dating all the way back to the silent era. To add to the sense of realism and avoid the cost of set building, many of today's television shows and movies film on location in cities and towns across the U.S. But out in the real world, you've got to contend with noise, traffic, crowds, and various visual elements that may or may not belong in your film. Here on the Backlot, we can avoid these problems because we created our very own flexible urban environment. Our Streets of America facades can stand in for a small town or a giant metropolis. As we come around the last corner on our route, you'll see the skyline of New York City in the distance. It's really a series of painted flats, expertly designed to fool the eye and the camera. We can dress and decorate these streets to look like any city we want, from Chicago to San Francisco. Depending on the choice of vehicles, props, and costumes, we can even turn back the clock and set our story in a different time. And what's more, these sets are built with Florida weather in mind. They're made to withstand 100-mile-an-hour winds. You're welcome to visit our Streets of America anytime during your visit today and get an up-close look at the skills of our set designers and builders.
That's a wrap. We hope you enjoyed your time here on the Backlot today. I'm going to ask that everyone please remain seated at all times until the shuttle comes to a full and complete stop, and I've let you know that it is safe to exit. We do have two show times for Lights Motor Action Extreme Stunt Show today. The first is at 1:20 and our last show is at 4:30. Alright folks, please stay within the shuttle until those doors stop moving above your head. This is for your safety. Please wait until they stop moving completely above your head. Once they stop moving, watch your head, watch your step all the way across that yellow line and exit to the rear of the shuttle. Thank you and enjoy the rest of your day here at Disney's Hollywood Studios.